Julia Garner, are you all done shooting Ozark season 2?
Yeah, we just I finished. Oh my god, I finished a little like over 10 days ago. So not. I don't even remember. It's pretty recently. So, but yeah, season 2 we finished.
All right, so try to think back to season 1, and can you explain why Ruth sides with Marty at the expense of her uncles?
Because I think Ruth feels acknowledged and respected by Marty, that she doesn't feel that she gets with other people, especially from her, own family. So, yeah, Marty really respects her and he listens to her. So.
Tell me, how does Ruth know that she's being recorded, that there's a wire present, and like why she doesn't give up that she was trying to kill Marty?
God, I'm trying to remember because it's so long ago that I shot it, and it was so long ago that I watched it because I don't. I watch it, but it was a while ago. How does she? Oh my god! Oh my god! How does she? Oh my god! Because I feel like it's kind of like obvious. He's been acting a little weird. I remember shooting that. I remember shooting that scene where she could. I think you're saying the scene where she kind of slaps her uncle on the chest. Kind of just like figured out because he's always pushing her. She's kind of always 10 steps ahead in a way. So she knows that something was up with him, that he was just acting weird. And he also came into my office with Petty. All of these, he was just acting kind of strange.
Tell me about your character's accent, because you have a much more intense accent than I feel like any of your cousins do. So are those actors just slacking?
Well, I have to say the people that played my uncle, Russ and Boyd, one of them, Russ, he's actually from Texas originally, so he naturally kind of has an accent. And then the guy who plays Boyd is from Australia, Christopher James Baker, and Mark Menchaca, he's from Texas. But he kind of had an accent. And then I guess three's from North Carolina. And then Charlie Tahan, who plays Wyatt, he has less of an accent, but I think it makes kind of more sense because he's, he reads a lot and he's more educated in a way. Yeah, Ruth just, I guess I don't know. I kind of always thought it just makes more sense that the Langmores would have an accent, especially the contrast between the Langmores and the Birds. It really kind of is more it's more dramatic, I feel like, to the class difference.
So there's a lot of Emmy campaigning going on right now, and Netflix held an event where they showcased certain scene stealers from various shows, and they included you in that group. So what do you think it is about your performance that people are really responding to?
It's really hard to answer that because I can never think like, oh, my performance, this is why I'm getting like all this attention. Like, I don't think of myself like that. I just kind of do the scenes and focus on the work. But I can say that I feel very lucky that the character is written just extremely well, and it's very rich and developed, and it's an extremely complicated character. So naturally, people are gonna, I think, be interested in the character, and it's just even from the writing, it was from just the beginning. That's why I loved, the writing of Ozark. So.
What about, did you always come into the show knowing that you wanted to play Ruth, or did you try out for the daughter, for example?
No, I just tried out for Ruth. I remember, so Ruth obviously isn't in the first episode, but when Ozark came in, when I got Ozark in my inbox, I just got the pilot, and I wasn't in the pilot, but I could see that the writing was incredible because every character was extremely well developed. It had multiple layers. And I remember getting the sides for Ruth. I got these mock sides, and I just remember I remember preparing for the audition, thinking, I want to do this character so bad that it was like, and I'm very good in moving on with certain things, but I remember thinking, if someone else does it, I'm going to have a hard time watching it, because this character is so, just to say the words out loud is just so much fun, and she has so much life, and there's just, you can do so much with it. And that really, I was like, I want it. I really wanted it. So
your lead director on the show is your co-star Jason Bateman. So tell me, what's different about working with a director who is also, an actor and also an actor in your own show?
Well, I mean, first of all, Jason's a one of a kind. The fact that he can, direct and act in something that he's in is incredible to me. I mean, that's so hard. Not many people can do that. But he's really just an actor's director. I mean, he really, really, really cares. And I think the most wonderful thing about Jason is he's extremely generous, and I think that's what also makes him a good actor and a good director. I think in order to be a great or even good and smart artist, you have to be a generous artist. You're giving it to the world, So that's why he's Jason Bateman. He's a very, very generous with his time and everything. He's incredible.
So if you were nominated for the Emmy for Best Supporting Actress in a Drama, then you'd have to submit an episode that you feel is your best acting showcase from the first season. Do you have an idea of what episode that would be?
Wait, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So the best episode. Sorry, the best episode from. Wait, repeat it.
I'm just saying, what do you think was your best acting showcase in the first season, and what makes whatever episode that is stand out to you?
The best episode for showcasing my character, you're saying? Wow, it's so hard because you can't, again, like, I don't think of myself objective, like, oh my God, I'm going to get nominated for an Emmy or this or this. But what I can definitely say, my two favorite Ruth scenes in the show, of Ruth that really just kind of, you can see her character and who she is I forgot what episode it is, but the episode where I'm having an interview in the strip club, and you really see who with the Bobby Dean, and he's like auditioned for me, and I kind of just like fool him, but then Ruth turns around and you see a complete, like, really mask on, mask off type thing, and that's really Ruth. And then I guess also maybe the scene where I think that my uncle's wearing a wire, because again, 5-10 steps ahead. She knows that's also a very Ruth scene. So
yeah. You're in so many cool shows these days. I wanted to ask you about some of your other ones. You were on the show called Waco this year. How did you get that role?
I remember I auditioned for it. I remember I did it right after Ozark. This was before Ozark came out, and I heard about Waco. It was before I was born, though, so I wasn't too familiar with it. But I remember, again, reading. Everything to me it's always about good writing. Again, the writing was incredible, and the actors, they have Taylor Kitchen, Michael Shannon, and Rory Culkin, who I did a movie with 6 years ago, and he's great. He's a great actor, and again, the actors and the writing was very attracted me. So, and then the directors happened to be very nice. So, yeah.
So in that one, you're playing a real person, Michelle Jones. How much research, or what kind of research did you do about her?
Well, I did a lot of research about the people in the compound, the people in Waco, and I did a lot of research about the whole. It's terrible about what happened in Waco. There was only so much that I could research Michelle Jones. There was not a lot about her. There was more about the first wife, but you know, you do it also because you're playing a real person. You do it to, you know, respect that person. So, you know, it was very depressing shooting that, but everyone was so lovely. So.
And how did that show change your perception of, I don't know, I guess, government cults? I feel like the things that happened in that show, like I didn't know the story either, were just so shocking.
I think the thing that really shocked me the most was, you know, it wasn't even the Koresh. It was the Koresh thing. It was more that, meaning like, I understand why people got upset at David Koresh, but it was more the children of Waco, that there were so many kids on the compound and they just didn't get them out. I think that was the most depressing because every single day when we were shooting, we would have days where, you know, we were in a kind of the shelter or like a bunker type thing, and there would be 30, 40 kids and they're making like it's a fake bombs going off kind of. And the, you know, these kids are like, some of them are 7, some of them are 4, however old, and they would cry like it was real. And, you know, some of them, a lot of them, like the girl who played my daughter, didn't want to do another take. And I felt so bad. I was like, no, I was like, you can, like, said, everyone said crafty. It's just like a movie. Don't worry. Like, everything's fake. But I was like, oh my God. I was like, I can't imagine actually going through this. It was really, really hard. So, but yeah, it was very, very sad.
And another show that you're on this year is The Americans, which you've been in 10 episodes over the last 4 years or so. What was your deal with that one? Was it just that you always kind of knew that they wanted to bring you back, or is it just initially supposed to be just a 1-season thing?
Well, I didn't know if it was gonna, you can never really plan on those things, so I didn't really know. The only thing that I knew was that my character never died, so there was always there was always a possibility that maybe I was gonna be back. You always know in TV, if your character is dead, you might not come back unless if it's like a dream sequence. So but yeah, but that show's also a great thing. You know, Matthew Rhys is and Kerry Russell's amazing actors. So.
And are you a fan of that show?
Yeah. I think, you know, it's that one I can watch a little more too because I'm not in it as much. So, you know, I'm not going to be like neurotic and just overanalyzing myself in a way. So.
Have you seen the finale?
No, I still have to watch it. I have to finish it. So I just finished Ozark, so I just got back to New York.
Okay, and the last show I'll ask you about is Maniac with Emma Stone and Jonah Hill. Tell me about what is your role in that one?
I can't say too much about that one because it didn't air yet, and I don't know what to say other than I play a person. But yeah, it's good. It's good. And it was so great working with Emma Stone. I mean, she's such an amazing actress and she's so sweet. And Carrie Fukunaga is just brilliant. And, you know, I can't say too much. So.
Okay, what about, can you pitch the second season of Ozark? What can we look forward to seeing Ruth get up to this year? What kind of a journey is she on?
I think this season's a little darker overall, and I also think that Ruth, a lot of things this season make sense. Why Ruth has certain kind of behavior, that crazy behavior. I mean, this season she really is going through a lot of internal turmoil. She is kind of just, I guess, trying to gain herself back, I think, this season. You know, she kind of cracked in a way.
Do you think she can ever like lead a life without crime, or do you think she should even bother because she's so good at it?
I think she's trying to figure it out. I don't think she even knows really herself. I'm still figuring that out in a way. As the character, you know, like, you know, there's a lot of things that make sense this season, especially that, you know, with her background and everything, that she behaved a certain way. She just wants something better in a way, but she can't seem to move on. She's like stuck in a cage.
Okay, Julia, well, thanks for taking the time to chat, and thanks for making so much great television.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Well, I thank you for watching. Thank you.